If you're early in your career and you often feel that the way to progress is to simply do more work and harder and work harder and do more, this is a very understandable assumption. Why? Because many people begin their professional life with the belief that effort will naturally translate into progress. It makes sense, doesn't it? In education, this is often true. If you study more, prepare more, and invest more effort, your results usually improve. So when people enter the workplace, they carry the same logic with them. And most people think, if I take on more tasks, if I say yes to everything, if I work longer hours, then progress will follow. But the way organizations evaluate contribution is often very complex and more complex than that. Because workplaces are not simply measuring how much work you can do. They are not measuring how much work you can do. Not only that, it's not that simple. They are also observing how you decide what work matters. And that difference is very important. Early in a career, it is common to see someone trying to demonstrate value by doing as much as possible. They volunteer for additional tasks. They respond immediately to every request. And don't get me wrong, if you don't volunteer and you don't do more, progress also will not happen. You can't just do the bare minimum. They respond immediately to every request, so if that's what you do. People try to solve many problems at once. From their perspective, and most people's perspective, they are showing commitment. But from a managerial perspective and director's perspective, something slightly different may be observed. Because managers and directors are often looking for signs of judgment. They are asking questions such as, does this person understand priorities? Can they distinguish between urgent work and important work? Do they know when to focus deeply and when to move quickly? Can they manage their time in a way that supports the team? These signals matter because organizations operate through coordination. Everyone's work connects to other people's work. And when someone takes on too many tasks, let's say you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're looking at everything that you've got and making a mental map of what you've got without clear with clear priorities, it can sometimes create confusion rather than clarity. This does not mean working hard is unimportant. Effort absolutely matters. But effort alone does not determine and does not give direction of your professional growth. What organizations value more is reliable contribution. I'll say that again. Reliable contribution is probably the most value in companies. And what does that mean, reliable contribution? It means completing important work well. 1. Completing important work well. 2. Communicating clearly about progress. 4. Understanding priorities of the team. 5. Delivering consistently. And these 5 behaviors create stability. And stability is something every professional environment depends on. Stability. Another important point in the professional growth often depends on visibility of impact, not volume of activity. Visibility of impact. Someone may be extremely busy all day, but if their work does not clearly move a project forward, the impact may be difficult for others to see. So you don't want to be busy being busy all day. It has to have impact. You have to contribute. Meanwhile, another person, for example, may complete fewer tasks, but those tasks significantly improve a project or decision. From the outside, the second person may appear to contribute more value. This can feel surprising when you first encounter it, especially if you're used to environments where effort and results are tightly connected. But workplaces require a different kind of thinking. They require people to ask, what work will make the greatest difference here? What work will make the biggest difference here? Not simply, how much work can I do? You want to shift. You don't want to be in the position of asking, how much work can I do? What you want to ask yourself is, what work will make the greatest difference here? And learning to ask that question is part of developing professional maturity. Over time, people who grow in their careers tend to shift from focusing on quantity of work to focusing on quality of contribution. They start paying attention to what actually helps the team succeed, what decisions matter most, what work creates long-term value, and once that shift happens, something interesting occurs. Work often becomes calmer. Yes, when that shift happens, work often becomes calmer because the focus moves from doing everything to doing the right things well. From doing everything to doing the right things well. For someone early in their career, this shift can take time. It requires observing how work flows inside an organization. It requires understanding priorities. And it requires developing judgment about where your effort has the greatest impact. But once you begin to see work through this lens, those goggles, that lens, your relationship with effort changes. You're no longer trying to prove your value through sheer activity. Instead, you're learning how to contribute in a way that strengthens the whole environment. So clarity is the beginning, and practice is what makes and creates change. If you want to work with me inside the mentorship, you'll find the link below.